What am I hearing? That Carlo Ancelotti is now the greatest coach of all time. That there is no longer a debate between him and Pep Guardiola. Why? Because he just won Pep Guardiola with worse cases of injury problems, with 4 of his backline missing, compared to just Rodri that was missing for Pep Guardiola. I didn't know that the greatest coach of all time is now measured by head-to-head. How many times we have met and how many times we have won, and also the conditions under which I won you. So right now Ancelotti is now regarded as the greatest coach of all time because he pulled off a heroic stunt over Pep Guardiola at the Etihad Stadium with loads of injuries at his back line. Okay, since the greatest coach of all time is no longer measured based on your achievements as a coach, we regard Sir Alex Ferguson as the greatest coach of all time for now because he has the most trophies won among all the coaches. He has about, I think, 49. The second is Guardiola with 37. Ancelotti is not even third, fourth, fifth when it comes to trophies won in football as a coach. He has 24 trophies, and Guardiola has done this in lesser time than Ancelotti. So that is no longer the measurement, the yardstick for determining the greatest coach of all time. He is now head to head. All right, let me bring this coach, Hansi Flick. Since Ancelotti has won Pep Guardiola, Guardiola is no longer in the equation. So it is now between Hansi Flick and Ancelotti. Now, the least I could remember, Ancelotti has met Hansi Flick 2 times this season, and the first meeting was when Hansi Flick was at the peak of his injury problems. At the peak of his injury problems. During that period, the only name missing in the Madrid squad was Carvajal. Carvajal just picked up an injury before that match and was out of the season. And also Courtois. Courtois was also not available for that match, that first El Clasico. And what happened? What happened? With Madrid complete, there was Militao, there was Rudiger, there was Mendy. In the midfield, everywhere was stacked. There was Valverde, there was Bellingham, there was Tchouaméni, there was Camavinga, there was Mbappe, there was Vinicinho. And Hansi Flick won that match with Femi Lopez, a young boy, Lamine Yamal, a young boy under 18, Casado, a new revelation. Casado, a new revelation. Can you compare Casado to any player in Real Madrid? No. Balde, do you want to compare Balde to your defensive line? No. Kubasi, a young boy, not more than 19. If he has gotten to 19, Kubasi, even though the guy is a revelation, but at that point he was still a young boy. We just regarded him as a young boy. Inaki Pena, our second choice goalkeeper. Remember, Ter Stegen got injured and was also out of the season. Now, look at the names that we are missing for that match. Ter Stegen, Araujo, Christensen, Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo was missing. Who again? Gavi. Gavi was also missing. So you could say we were without 5 to 6 of our first team players. 5 to 6 of our first team players. And Hansi Flick was able to pull off a 4-0 scoreline over Ancelotti. Ancelotti with a 99% complete squad. So that means Hansi Flick is now the greatest of all time. Because if it is being measured by head to head, Hansi Flick has had the upper hand against Ancelotti twice. The second time was this year, January, in the Supercopa de España. 5-2. 5-2. So if the new yardstick for measuring or for determining the greatest coach of all time is head to head, then Hansi Flick has just snatched it from Ancelotti. If that's the case, or else we still leave it with Pep Guardiola, because as long as I'm concerned, the greatest coach of all time is measured or is being determined by your achievements in football, in your career, in your managerial career. That is what makes you the greatest coach of all time. And for now, we are still regarding Sir Alex Ferguson as the greatest because he has 49 trophies, the most of any manager in football history. So depending on how you guys want to measure it, is it by achievement or by head to head?